Hey guys, it's me again. This is actually my first video. We'll look at the Nike Inflict 3s. So this is a boxing gear review channel, but these are actually wrestling shoes. With these being wrestling shoes, these actually work really well for boxing. Even though they are mid-cut instead of a high-cut shoe like the Hyper KOs, the ankle support is actually really good. So even though it's a mid-cut and doesn't really go all the way up your ankle, it also does have this Velcro strap. So I would say that this ankle strap is what really locks your foot in the shoe. So even though these are wrestling shoes, these work really well for boxing. So most boxing shoes, they're more of a high cut shoe more than a mid cut shoe like this one. But if you notice, a lot of these boxing shoes, they don't really have a strap at the top of the ankle like this one. These shoes are very lightweight and it even feels lighter than these actually. If you just look at the uppers, it's more of a mesh material. When the Hyper KOs, it has a lot of technology around the shoe. There's fly wire and stuff like that all around the shoe. But this doesn't really have the technology that these have. But with it being really simple, like just having mesh or going around the shoe, that makes it very breathable and really easy to break in. So if we look at the sole here, it's actually suede instead of it being only rubber on the bottom. So it's suede going around the shoe and a little bit in the middle. So I believe that for wrestling, since you are on the mat a lot, like rolling and we're all over the floor and stuff, I believe that's why they went with suede. But if you look at the traction pattern, it is actually really good for pivoting when you're throwing your punches. So when you're throwing your punches, you would be going like that a lot with the shoe. But if you look at this one, this is actually a lot more grippier compared to this one. But this kind of gives it an advantage over this one in terms of durability. Because if you keep pivoting with this one, that would make this last not as long as this one. Because this one, you could kind of see the traction is fading away a lot. But this one, you won't even see it fade away because it basically already looks faded away. But overall, the traction is really good, even though it's not as grippy as this one because they do have different patterns. This one has more of a zigzag type of pattern, this one goes around. But that's what makes it really good for pivoting and throwing your punches. So with the pattern being like this, I would say it's pretty impressive. You can make those quick pivots and sharp movements without worrying about slipping. The shoes itself is very flexible. Like I said a bunch of times already, the uppers are more like a mesh material, making it very flexible and easy to break in compared to this one, because it is also a wider shoe compared to this one, meaning that in terms of the fit, I do prefer this a lot more over than this one. Now let's talk about the ankle support. So the ankle support, you guys do see that it is more of a mid-top shoe than a high-top shoe like most boxing shoes. They actually do provide a pretty good amount of ankle support. So if you look at these ones, what is the difference in the ankle support? Obviously this is a high top and this is more of a mid top, but this one has that ankle strap to really lock your foot in place and add support for your ankle for when you're pivoting and making those sharp movements and stuff like that. So with that being said, I would say there is a good balance between the mobility and the support, which is something I would look for in most boxing shoes, or all of them actually. Now let's talk about the fit and the comfort. So all around the shoe, it is very padded. Not very padded to where it gets heavier, but it has more of a padded tongue, and it is padded all around the shoe, and it gives a real sock-like feel to it. So it is a very comfortable shoe, and it's padded going all around. As you can see on the tongue, it's pretty padded. Going around the ankle is pretty padded. I would say there is a little bit of discomfort in this area. Maybe I just need to use it more, but we'll have to see. And with it being padded going all around, that does really help a lot when it comes to long training sessions. So overall, I would rate this shoe about a solid 8 out of 10. What could have been better? Probably adding a little bit more padding around the toe area, because it is padded more around the top, like the tongue and around the ankle. Maybe a little bit more padding around the edges. But even though it is designed for wrestling, this has a lot to offer for boxers. Like I said earlier, there is really good traction. There's a decent amount of ankle support, and it is pretty flexible. So even if you are a wide-footed person like me, I do recommend going half a size up. And it doesn't really take that long to break in, since it is a little bit wider than the Hyper KOs at least. The things that make it an 8 out of 10 instead of it being like a 10 out of 10, well, these are designed for wrestling, but of course it can be used for boxing, because this is a review coming from a boxing perspective. And like I said, there is a little bit of discomfort, so I really wish they did add padding around the toe area. And I would say just the ankle support isn't the best, but it is pretty decent still with the ankle strap being there. But do I recommend this shoe? Yes, I would. Like I said, it is 8 out of 10, not a 3 out of 10 or whatever. Really good shoe, somewhat budget friendly. And yeah, that'll be it. That's the review. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.